With so many prop firms out there, how do you choose which one to take? Well, today I'm going to help you out a bit. I'm going to take 13 well-known prop firms and I'm going to be putting them on a tier list, which should definitely help the process of choosing a prop firm. Now, if you guys are not sure what a tier list is, this is a tier list over here. As you can see, we have A, B, C, and D tier. Obviously, that's straightforward. A being the best, and then D being not so good. But then on top of that, we have an S tier, which is the super tier. And this is held for the best of the best, the top dog. So we're gonna see, do any of our prop firms actually make it up there? Now, Adam actually did a tier list about 6 or 7 months ago, but a lot changes with prop firms. As you guys know, a lot has changed with prop firms, and some of the prop firms that were on that list are actually not even around anymore. And we've got a lot of requests from you guys to redo our tier list. So here we are. Now, as a lot of you might know, here at Blue Edge, we have an incredible product which is helping traders get funded. It's called the Prop Farming Blueprint, and we've already helped about 1,000 traders get funded with prop firms. And it's because of this that we see a lot of prop firms coming in and out of our Discord channel, people talking about the goods, the bads, the uglies. So we have a lot of data to go on. And that's why we feel like we are the perfect people to do a tier list. So with that being said, let's get stuck in and start looking at the list. So I've basically just put all 13 of the prop firms that we've selected on the bottom here in no particular order, and I'm just going to go from left to right and slowly start putting them on the tier list. Now, one thing I do want you guys to understand firstly is that we are not affiliated with any prop firms. We do not get any kickback. This is purely just our opinion and our attempt to help you guys out when it comes to choosing prop firms. So maybe it's something that when you are looking at prop firms, you're looking at, you know, the B, A, and S tier, and maybe not really looking at the C. Now, I'm not saying don't choose the C and D tier, because sometimes the reasons they're there is, you know, something that we don't particularly like, but maybe it's something that doesn't bother you. So go through all of these, have a watch through, and I'm guarantee you it's going to help when you make your decision. Now, the other thing I do want to point out is this is not a review video. I'm not reviewing each of these as I go, because this video would be about 2 or 3 hours long. I'm basically just running through. I've already got a spreadsheet where I've got all the numbers, I've got all the data, and I'm going to go through it very quickly with you guys so we can run through this, get the prop firms on the tier list, and you guys can make your decisions thereafter. So with that being said, let's get cracking. Okay, first up, let me just show you the spreadsheet I've got over here. As you can see, I've got all the prop firms over here, and I've got all the information that we would be basically looking at. Now, where it says rules and payouts, I've got good, okay, or bad, because I've already looked into them, but I'm not going to be basically going over everything. Like I said, this is not a review video. Right, so first on the list, we have got 5%ers. So let's go have a look at 5%ers. So these guys were established in January 2016, so they have been around a long time. They have a 4.9 Trustpilot review rating with 8,840 ratings, so pretty good. And their Trustpilot review is incredible. It's up there with, I think it's the best of all the prop firms I've seen. So let's just have a quick look over at Trustpilot review, just so you guys can see I'm not talking crap. These guys have a 4.9. It's incredible. They've only got a 2% 1-star. So this is something else I've actually put on. You can see their 1-star rating. These guys only have a 2%, considering they've been around for as long as they have, to only have 2%, 1-star, and 4.9 on their Trustpilot is incredible. Let's keep going. So the prices I've put on are all based on their 2-phase challenge, which is kind of middle of the road. Most of these guys will offer a 1-phase, a 3-phase. Some of them even offer a single phase or a direct funded. But if you want more information about those, go look at our review videos. We've got all the information, and any of the prop firms on here that we haven't reviewed, we will be reviewing as well. So the challenge fee for the 2-phase is $5.95. It is a little bit on the higher side, but the fact that these guys have the rating they do, they've been around as long as they have, I think it's not a bad thing. And in fact, I think it's a good thing, because it just means that they are very popular. People are paying this, and it just means that their capital is always going to be very good and strong. For the rules I have, very good. Nothing to worry about there. Their drawdown type is equity and balance based, which is the most popular for most prop firms. Payouts I've got as good. I see a lot of people, you know, very happy with the payouts. Not too many people moaning about payouts. Unfortunately, they do not offer their services to the US. So US traders can't trade with 5%ers. Now, some people might see this as a bad thing. I don't necessarily think that I should knock them down because they don't offer their services to the US. I think they made the decision just the same as FTMO did, is to basically keep everything the same, because if they were to continue offering to the US, they would have had to change a lot. And why change something that's working so so well. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I am sorry for the US traders that cannot trade with 5%. It does suck, but I don't think it's necessary to knock them down because of that. So with everything being said, these guys are going to go at the top of the board. They're going to be an S tier prop firm. Now, the comments I have is been around for a long time and they are still super consistent. So for me, 5%ers is an S tier prop firm. All right, next up we have Aqua Funded. So let's have a look. Aqua Funded is down over here. They were established in December 2023, so still very, very young in the prop firm game. Not been around for that long. Have a 4.4 rating on Trustpilot. Only 665 people have rated it, which means maybe they haven't got the numbers, you know, buying into the challenges. Not a huge amount yet. Now, of the 665 that have rated, 10% of those already are 1-star reviews, which is not good. They have their pricing at 398, which is one of the lowest. It's good, but you wonder why. You know, often you see the lower numbers are sometimes because of something. So maybe it's because they're still young, because they're still trying to attract, which makes sense. Rules, good. Their drawdown type is equity and balance, which normally means it's equity. Payouts, good. I haven't seen too many issues. They do offer their services to USA, but I am going to be putting these guys as a C tier prop firm. And you might be thinking everything looks pretty good. Why is that? Well, the reason is because they are still very new, and the fact that they are still that new and they already have a 10% 1-star reviews, that's not great. You know, you'd think that in the first 6 months to a year, these guys are doing everything they can to impress everyone, but the fact that they already have 10% 1-star reviews is not great. Now, I'm not saying that these guys can't bounce back. Next time we do it, maybe they're going to jump up. We'll see. But for now, I have to put them as a C tier. So let's go and do that. Aqua Funded is going to be a C tier. So next up is My Funded FX. All right, here they are down here. These guys were established in June 2022. So they've been around a couple of years, 2.5 years. Their Trustpilot review is the worst on the list that I have. They are at a 4 Trustpilot review, 4 stars with 1,924 reviews. And they have the highest, joint with another company, the highest 1-star percentage. 15% of their reviews 1 star, which is not good at all. With that in mind, their price is still pretty high, $500 for a 2-phase challenge, which is not great. I do have their rules as bad, which I'm going to be talking about in a bit. Only real good thing I have to say is their drawdown type is balance-based. Payouts are okay, not good, okay. They do offer their services to US, but I am putting these guys in the D tier. Why is that? Because they have got some very strange rules. I'm not going to go into that now. We have talked about that in our review. Very bad leverage, and we've seen quite a few payout denials and bans in our community alone. And then on top of that, in some of the social media platforms, we've also seen talk of denials and bans. So not looking great. And for me, for that reason, these guys are going to be a D tier. So let's go ahead and put these guys in the D tier. All right, so next up we have Instant Funding. Okay, so let's find Instant Funding. Here they are over there. So March 2022 was when these guys were established. They have a 4.6 Trustpilot review with 3,355 reviews so far. 1-star rating of 5%, so not too bad. Their 2-phase challenge at the moment is priced at $549, which is a little bit on the high side. You know, normally the higher priced prop firms are the guys that have been around a bit longer and are doing very well and don't have any issues, like the FTMO 5%ers, those kind of guys, which are kind of like, it makes sense for them to be a bit higher because they are the elite, they're the top, they're the best of the best. So you price yourself that way. But these guys are pricing themselves like they are the best, but they aren't necessarily. So the rules are good. I haven't seen too many issues with the rules. Equity and balance based is their drawdown type. Payouts are okay. I've seen you know, their payouts, not too many issues with payouts. They do offer their services to the USA, but I am going to be putting these guys in the B tier just because I think their price is very high. I think they could drop their price a little bit, but let's have a look. You know, maybe in the next time we do this, these guys actually impress us and they can go up to the A tier. So for now, I'm going to be putting these guys in the B tier, and I am actually going to be doing a review on these guys very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that. So let's go ahead and put these guys in the B tier. B tier is not very bad, middle of the road. It's not a bad thing to be in the B tier. That's a pretty good prop firm still, so no stress there. All right, next up, we've got Alpha Capital. So let's go and have a look at Alpha Capital. So here we go, Alpha Capital. These guys were established in November 2021. They've been around for quite a while, 4.3 Trustpilot reviews with 6,400 reviews, but they do have 12% one-star reviews. Now their two-phase challenge fee is $479, which is not too bad. I've got their rules as okay, not good, just okay. Their drawdown type is balance-based, which is good. Their payouts, okay. We have seen, a few issues coming out, and this in particular seems to be in their one-star review, so the 12%. A lot of the things are talking about their payouts and denials and stuff like that. So they do offer their services to the USA. I am going to be putting these guys in the B tier. The thing is, they do interviews. If they're not happy with something, they seem to do a lot of interviews, which is a little bit annoying. I know a lot of prop firms do that as well, but we have, like I said, been seeing some denials, and then also just the fact that there are 12% with one-star reviews. For that reason, I would have liked to put these guys, everything did look good with these guys. If you look along here, apart from the 12%, everything is not too bad. Maybe you'd expect to see an A tier with a little bit higher Trustpilot rating, but I was very, very close to putting these guys in the A tier, but unfortunately, because of these comments here, seeing some denials and also the 12% one-star, I'm going to be putting them in the B tier. So not bad, but let's put these guys in the B tier. Next up, we have Blue Guardian. So let's go to Blue Guardian. These guys were established in June 2021. Trustpilot is an issue, so let me just show you that quickly. Okay, so as you can see here on Trustpilot, guys, you've got a warning there, and basically it says company rating is unavailable due to breach of guidelines. So not sure what that means. Here it says we've detected and removed a number of fake reviews from this company. So whether this is the company themselves doing this or not, I don't know. So it is a little bit worrying that they have that, but the other stats we can take from is the one star is at 12%. So let's just carry on going. So can't put in the Trustpilot review at the moment. I think they were on before this on around a 4.1 or a 4.2. So kind of not great. 12% of the reviews are one star, which is also not great. Now their price is probably one of the lowest that is here, if not the lowest, $348, which maybe we see as a good thing, but also maybe we see as them trying to kind of, get as many people as possible because there is some issues. I don't know. Sometimes when they are a little bit too low, I worry. And that price was actually, so whatever the price was before, it was scratched out and this was a new price. So it's like they are kind of cutting prices to try and attract. So it's a little bit worrying, but let's carry on. So rules, okay, not good, just okay. Their drawdown type is equity and balance based. Payouts, okay to poor. Now the reason I'm talking about that, I've seen a lot of people moaning about the payouts and being refused, and I'm going to be talking about that just now. They do offer their services to the US, and I'm going to be putting these guys in the C tier. Now they were in the B tier before, and I'm dropping them down to the C tier. Now one of the things I don't really like is they've introduced this payouts having to have 3-day consistency. They have this 3-day consistency rule on payouts, which I think is really annoying because however you pass the challenge, right? Let's say you pass the challenge and you go through, and then you suddenly have this, this extra thing on your funded account that you've got to have 3 days consistent to actually get your payout. Now for me, if you're a good trader and you have you trade with a higher risk reward ratio, like maybe a 1-5, let's say you have a winning day, you get 5% from a 1% risk, and then you have 2 days that follow that you lose, you're still 3% up, and that's part of your process. And everyone that's a good trader, everyone that trades, know that that's okay. It's okay to take losses. These guys are almost saying that you must not take any losses, and that just puts you in a weird space psychologically, and I don't like that. Just let people trade how they trade. Obviously if they're doing really silly things, then pick them up on that. But to force people to have 3-day consistency rule, I don't like that. I think it's really stupid, and I hate it when they start doing this with the funded accounts, where they start making it very difficult to actually get to a payout. So something just doesn't add up over there. They're reducing their rates. They're doing this stuff with the consistency rule on funded account. For me, I don't know. I don't feel good about that. So I've put these guys in the C tier for now. I hope they turn around, and I hope things get better. better. But for me, it's going to be a C tier for Blue Guardian. And it's a shame because we actually really like that prop firm. It's a prop firm we used to actually really kind of shout out in our group. But at the moment, just, you know, things happening that we don't really like the look of. Anyway, let's go to the next prop firm. Next up, we have Funding Pips. So let's go have a look at Funding Pips. These guys have been around since November 2022, 4.4 Trustpilot review. They've had 15,389 reviews, which is pretty good for the, 2 years that they've been around. They do have 10% one-star reviews. Their pricing for the two-phase challenge is pretty much middle of the road, 444. So that's pretty good. Rules, okay. You know, there are some rules in there that, you know, are a little bit weird. I'm not going to go into that. We are going to be doing another review on these guys. I think we have done a review back in the past, but we are going to review this because some of the new rules that have come in, we want to talk about. But like I said, I'm not going to be going over that today. Drawdown type is equity and balance. Payouts is good. We have seen, you know, some weird things coming about with payouts, and we've seen some people moaning about being refused payouts. So I'm just putting that as okay. They do offer their services to the USA. I'm going to be putting these guys in the C tier. You know, everything did look good from here to here. It looked pretty good, but then why am I putting them in the C tier? So they do sometimes interview, which is okay. You know, we do see that, but they have also got a pretty strict breaching system. And this is why you're seeing this 10% one star. From the one stars that I did see, a lot of the one stars were people talking about being breached for reasons they didn't quite understand. So things happening that, you know, you get breached, you're like, whoa, what happened? I didn't feel like I didn't think. So this is what I'm talking about. They have a pretty strict breaching system. But like I said, I am going to be doing another review on these guys in the very near future. So make sure you stick around for that because we are going to be looking more into this, but I can't go into that now because I don't want to waste too much time. So these guys are going to be C tier. Funding Pips, C tier. There we go. Next up, we have Fxify. Let's have a look at Fxify. April 2023. So not been too long. It's been about a year and a half, maybe. These guys only have a 4.1 Trustpilot review, 2,537 reviews. They are 13% of those reviews being one star. So not great. And they are priced a little bit higher, up near $500, but they often do have specials and deals where you can often get them around 400. Rules, okay. They are kind of starting to get a little bit stricter. We are seeing a little bit more stricter rules coming in, especially, you know, because a lot of our clients, our customers were using Fxify, and we're seeing some weird things come in. They are equity and balance based for their drawdown type. Payouts, okay to poor. So kind of leaning more to the poor side recently because we've specifically with our community, we've seen a lot of denials. USA, they do allow USA. I'm going to be putting these guys in the C tier. I think they were B tier before, possibly even A tier, but we are seeing a lot more denials and also them only having the one star, which is not great. So we're going to be putting these guys in the C tier. So let's do that now. C tier, there we go. Okay, so next up we have FTMO. Should I just put them in S tier right now? Should I even? Okay, we'll do it what we need to do, but FTMO is definitely the top dog. We know that these guys are up there. They've been around for the longest, definitely the longest on our list. So let's go through everything, but I think we all know where these guys are going. They've been around since beginning of 2015, so definitely the longest. 4.8 on Trustpilot with 15,831 reviews. So incredible Trustpilot review, a little bit under 5%ers, only 3% one star. Now they are priced a little bit higher. Like I said before, these guys have the right to be priced a little bit higher because they are premium, right? When you're looking at premium, you pay premium, and these guys are premium. So 570 is pretty good. Rules, we all know what their rules are. Their rules have been pretty much set. They've changed very small amounts in their rules, but when they do change things, they are the kind of leaders in the big things that need to change. So rules are good. Drawdown, equity, balance based, never been an issue, to be honest. Payouts, very good. We've always seen no issues with these guys. They do not offer their services to USA, and like I spoke about, the same with 5%ers. This is not a reason we should knock them down. They made this decision to keep offering what they are offering because what they are offering is brilliant. So, you know, it makes sense why they did this. So these guys, for me, I'm not even going to waste too much time on these guys. FTMO is an S tier prop firm, very consistent and leader in the prop firm industry. So I'm not going to just waste any more time. These guys are up there in the S tier. So let's carry on. Next up, we have E8. Okay, so E8 have been around since November 2021. So been around a fair amount of time. 4.7 on the Trustpilot. I think that is the third best on our list with 1,000, just shy of 2,000 reviews. Only 5% of the reviews are 1 star. Their 2-phase challenge is 588. Now, the interesting about that, guys, that is at the base, and that is if you are looking for a 10% max daily drawdown. But the cool thing about these guys is you can customize exactly what you want on checkout. So you can say, no, I actually want to go for 8% as my maximum drawdown, and that'll drop your price all the way down to, I think, below 500. So you have so much control over that. I'm going to talk about that at the end because that's actually my comment. So rules, good. Drawdown type is equity and balance. Payouts, good. USA, yes. These guys are going to be not quite all the way at the top. I was very close to maybe putting them there, but I think, you've got to earn your spot at the top. So with that being said, these guys are going to be an A tier. And like you see here in the comment, I put amazing feature to customize your challenge on checkout. So you have a lot of customization on the checkout. Make sure you go check out our review on E8 where we actually talk about that. But it's an incredible feature that you can actually fully take control over exactly how you want your challenge to look. So these guys are definitely going to be an A tier prop firm. So next up we have Funding Next. Next we have Funding Next. Funding Next have been around since March 2022. They are 4.6 on Trustpilot, 22,537 reviews. So a lot of reviews, which is impressive. It means there's a lot of people going through, a lot of people potentially buying, which is a good thing to see. We like to see that. 1 star, there are 7% of the reviews are 1 star. Their challenge fee is a little bit on the high side. It's 549. I don't think they're quite at that level that they should be offering that. Now they are 549. Like I said, rules okay, not great, okay. Their drawdown type is balance based, which is good. Their payouts are good from what I've seen. They don't offer their services to USA, and I am actually going to be putting these guys in the B tier. Now, my comment is that we are seeing number of complaints about bad trading conditions. So a lot of the complaints that we're seeing, a lot of the actual 1-star things are talking a lot about trading conditions. So that is a bit of a worry. You don't like to see issues with trading conditions. And also I've put that they are a bit high priced. But apart from that, I probably would have put these guys in the A tier. But for now, they are going to go in the B tier. So these guys will be B tier over there. Next up, we have Lark Funding. Now, I recently did do a review on Lark Funding, so go have a look at that if you haven't checked it out. These guys have been around since June 2022. They have a 4.3 review on the Trustpilot, only 305 reviews. So this is my one issue with these guys, is they're not really out there. From what I saw, and if you see in my review, there's kind of one guy, it's like a one man steering the ship from what it appears. So it's a small team, which is not a bad thing, but it is a little bit of a worry. Can they handle everything? Or they're keeping it small on purpose. Maybe they're just trying to contain everything, trying to maintain everything and keep it that way. Now they have got 7% 1-star reviews. Their pricing is a little bit on the high side, considering they are, don't have that many people going through. Maybe that's why they're kind of trying to price themselves higher, kind of keep it smaller. I don't know, but they are a little bit higher. Rules are okay. They have a few rules that, are a little bit funny. Go look at my review on them if you are not sure. Drawdown type is balance, which is good. Payouts is good, and at their own admission, they basically say that they are the best payers and they've essentially never not given a payout, which is not true because I have seen people talking about that. So they do offer their services to USA, but I am going to be putting these guys as a C tier. The reason is just because of the very low reviews for the time they've been open and also the high price. So, for me, it's a little bit concerning. Maybe there's a reason why they're kind of keeping it so small. They're not really kind of putting it out there. I'm not sure, but for me, the number of reviews for the time they've been open and also the price, for that reason, I'm going to be putting these guys in the C tier. So let's put these guys over there, C tier. Next up, we have Goat Funded. So final, guys. Now, before I carry on, guys, if you guys are interested in passing prop firms, like I've talked about, like I said, we do, and the reason we have this data, just make sure you go over to propfarming.com where you can watch a demo on exactly how our product works, and thereafter you have the option to fill in a form to basically get the chance to use our product. So if this is something that interests you, And like I said, we've got over 1,000 people in our community funded with prop firms, and we have a lot of those actually 7 figures funded. So make sure you check out the video, the demo at www.propfarming.com. Have a look at the product. It's impressive. I've just been funded twice in the last month with that. Make sure you check out my series where I'm actually looking at getting to $5,000 per month with prop firms consistently. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you have a look. I'll leave a little link over here. But let's get on with the video, guys. Final one, Goat Funded. So these guys have been out since March 2022. Only a 4.1 on Trustpilot, so a little bit low. 2,200, almost 2,300 reviews. 15% 1-star. So these guys are the highest, along with My Funded FX, in terms of 1-star reviews. 15%. They are one of the lowest in terms of cost as well, $3.98. And like I said, it's often the guys that there seems to be some issues, bad reviews, whatever. They seem to be the ones that are lower priced. And is that because they are trying to, you know, trying to get back? So yeah, anyway, rules seem to be good. Equity and balance-based drawdown. The payouts seem to be good. They do offer their services to USA. And I'm going to be putting these guys on the C tier because with 15% 1-star, I don't think I can put them any higher. Now, the other thing is they also seem to be reducing a lot of people down to a 1% risk per trade. And this is on funded accounts. Again, I don't like, why are they interfering with how people must trade their funded, right? If you're taking that risk, we all know, you know, they say it's a funded account, it's our risk. You know, we want to make sure that you're trading correctly. We all know it's simulated accounts. So who are you trying to fool? Let people trade the way they trade. If they fail, they lose their account, let them go back and take it again. So, you know, it seems to be, you know, the companies that are trying to take more control over what they are allowing people to do on the funded accounts. I really don't like that. So for me, these guys are going to be on a C tier. I really like the look of Goat Funded. We actually have been suggesting Goat Funded to our own community, but we've seen a lot of our own people being told that they are limited to 1% risk, which is kind of annoying. You know, it's annoying if you have a very set strategy that you are trading, you know, maybe 1.5 or 2%, and that's what you do. But they're kind of like really trying to put you in a box and say, you know, force you to trade a certain way, which I don't like. So for me, these guys are going to be going to C tier. So you can see we had a lot of the guys in C tier. We had the big dogs up there, 5% as an FTMO. E8, the only one in the A tier. I feel like some of these guys could still bump up to the A tier just because, you know, they were close enough, but there were a few reasons that I was like, I just cannot put them there. So that's my tier list, guys. If you want to take a screenshot of that, take a screenshot. That's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And like I said, I wasn't going too deep on all of these. I've already done the research and this is my opinion. Now, a lot of you guys might disagree with my tier list, and I would love you guys to, you know, put in the comments why you disagree, where you would put them, and then we can actually get a bit of a conversation going, get a bit of a forum going with our comment section where we are actually putting in as much info as possible, because at the end of the day, the whole point of this is to help people out. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, just make crap up. I've done the research and this is my opinion. Now, if you guys want to put stuff in the comments, please do, because I really want to start a conversation. I want to start a conversation with you. I want other people to talk, and I want this to kind of, you know, be somewhere where people can talk about prop firms and also make suggestions. You want to see some other prop firms on here? Next time we do a tier list, we will definitely look at those if we feel like they deserve to be here. With that being said, guys, that's it. I've done my job. This video took a long time. There was a lot of background stuff going on. You know, it did take a lot of time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And with that being said, we will see you guys in the next video. If you haven't subscribed, what the heck are you doing? Subscribe to the channel, because we're bringing you as much incredible content as we possibly can. And with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.